guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome to today's video. It is a brand new month, it is November and it is payday. So I'm actually going to go through my budget updates, my budget spreadsheet that I do every single month on my channel, just to go through my incomings, my outgoings, my expenses, my bills, literally everything. My food bill, my shopping bill, my childcare bill, all my debt, all my mortgage payments, like literally everything, the ins and outs of my finances. Honestly, just so that I know how much I'm spending and on what, where I can maybe cut corners or what I want to prioritize this month. And also where I'm currently self-employed, my income is up and down. So I need to really keep on track of my spending and my budgeting to know that I'm gonna be okay for the following month, that kind of thing. It is very scary and daunting to know that I'm not gonna be guaranteed money every single month. So I'm just being very sensible of how much money I am actually taking out of that business and spending during the month. As always, I'm going to be using my budget spreadsheet, which I actually made maybe 4 years ago. I think it was 2020 I started using it, and it has transformed my life in terms of my money finance stuff. Like, it just makes me feel so much more in control. I know exactly how much money I have coming in, have going out, have left over, and then it gives me a bit of headspace to like actually choose what I'm doing with my leftover money. You're more than welcome to also use the spreadsheet. I sell it over on Etsy and I'll link it down in the description box. It's honestly a game changer. You can use a pen and paper, you can do whatever you need to do, but I find the spreadsheet is just a really great overview to have, especially for the beginning of the year. So if you're thinking, you know, for Christmas this year, or, you know, at the beginning of 2025 when it comes around, because that is around the corner, to get your finances in a good place, like a spreadsheet like this would be a really good place to start. So if you like the look of it when I'm using it and how easy it is to use, it all just adds up for you and everything. All the formulas are in there already. You don't have to know about spreadsheets particularly to use it. Definitely go check it out on Etsy. I'm also going to show you how I allocate my money into different pots using my Monzo app. I've been using Monzo, or an app called Hyperjar as well, in the past for years now, to try and allocate my money for different things, whether that's getting my hair done, or getting the kids certain toys, or kids clothes, or Christmas, or sinking funds for different activities and different things that we're saving up for, rather than having it all in just my current account. Because if I have £500 in my current account, I think I've got £500 to spend, and that is not always the case because I'm trying to save for different things that are coming up throughout the year. So I definitely like doing it like that, and I will show you at the end how much money I'm putting into each different pot and how that's going for me throughout the year. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the budget spreadsheet. Okay, right, let's get the spreadsheet up and let's get into this. Here is the budget spreadsheet. This is obviously what you would get basically. Obviously it would be empty, it wouldn't have any of my information in it, but you would get the budget spreadsheet like this for the whole year if you download it on Etsy. But what I'm going to do is hide the tabs from January to September, because obviously those months have all gone now. I know October has also gone, but I'm going to use October's figures to like figure out what November's going to look like. So I'm just going to hide these columns, and then they're still there if I need to access them, but they're not just going to clutter up the little page. So I've literally just got October, November, December, then we're hitting 2025, which is insane. It does, however, mean November and December are the only 2 paydays that we have left before Christmas, which is very intense. So looking at October, my income was 3,300, and this month it's going to be 3,000, which is slightly less, but still very good for me. Like, again, I've said this in previous videos, but the fact that I'm able to earn this from a flexible job that works around my kids, and I don't have to have the pressure of commuting into the office and all of the childcare elements and stuff that go around that. I'm pinching myself, frankly, that I'm able to make this much money from doing this, and I am just going to ride the wave for as long as I possibly can. But so you'll see here, the way that my spreadsheet works out is that it takes off what I would owe in tax, and automatically I've just put a formula in here to say like 10% of whatever I earn goes into my tax pot. That is because I'm self-employed and I pay dividend taxes, which is just under 10% rather than 20% income tax. And I don't pay national insurance contributions either, which does mean anything that I'm earning at the moment isn't like contributing to me working and towards my state pension, which I am trying to rectify, and that is going to, like, I'm talking to my accountant and they're going to help me out with all of this soon. I just haven't got round to doing it, frankly, and now Hallie is in nursery. I do have a couple of days a week where I can actually get all this admin stuff done and sorted, and I am doing it. I'm holding myself accountable. By December it will be in here, and I will be paying myself slightly differently as the months go on. So at the moment I'm just taking out basically dividends from my business, whereas from probably December onwards, I'm going to start paying myself a small salary so that I am contributing towards national insurance contributions, and then I will pay like 20% tax on that element of it, and then I'll top myself up in dividends. I know it sounds confusing, it's convoluted, but it's the most tax efficient way of doing things and most beneficial to obviously be contributing towards my state pension as well. So that is the plan. I haven't got around to doing it. I am going to do it, I promise. If Hallie naps for long enough because she's napping upstairs, then maybe I can get around to filling out the paperwork I need to fill out whilst she's napping, but we'll see. I want to film this video as a priority though. Anyway, so the £300 comes off automatically, and that brings us down to 2,700 for my income, like my take-home income. What I also do is pop in here my child benefit that I receive. So £170.20 comes into my account, or my joint account, for the kids, and that actually goes out straight away. So I actually put both of the child benefit money into a kids ISA straight away. So it's the exact amount that we receive from child benefit, it just goes straight into the kids ISA, which is like a stocks and shares ISA that we invest into every month. And obviously over the course of 18 years, you'd hope that the £170 that you put in every month, that hopefully over the course of 18 years will accrue interest, and that will be a big sum of money for them to do something, whatever that might be, when they're 18, whether that's deposit on a house, whether that's they want to invest it further, I doubt it, but who knows, driving lessons, cars, uni, whatever it might be, and that's just like their starting fund, I guess. And that's something that I'm really, really keen to continue to do, even if at some point, like I'm not saying that this is going to happen, but even at some point if we weren't eligible to receive child benefit anymore because we overpassed the threshold or whatever, we would still contribute that amount of money. Like it would definitely always be a priority for us. But at the moment we do receive the child benefit, and we are lucky enough to not have to rely on it for nappies, wipes, food, formula, all that kind of stuff. So we use it for this. And I think if you're in a position where you're similar, like it's a really, really great thing to be able to do for your kids. Obviously, if you're not, then I totally get it. And like times are really hard right now. I get it, but look, that's what I've always done, and that's what I wanted to share with you. Anyway, so yeah, like I said, my total take-home pay will be 2,700, so that's what's going to be in my bank account at the beginning of November when I actually take this money out of the business. If I scroll down to my expenses, this section here are my joint living costs. So these are bills that come out of our joint account as a couple, and the amount that you see here is 50% of that bill, because we go 50-50 on all household sort of things. I say all, there are a couple of exceptions to that. Things like pet insurance comes out of my husband's account. Like I don't really know why. He pays, like we got our windows redone, he pays like the loan on that. But then there are other things that I've paid for, so it's like, it kind of balances out. But anyway, these living expenses that are on here are the joint ones that come out and we pay 50-50 on. So I have actually looked through, and all of these, other than Hallie's childcare, are going to remain the same. So I'm going to just whiz through them. So our mortgage payments are 626 each. So bloody expensive, especially because we don't actually even owe that much, but it's because our interest rates have gone up. We had to fix at like 5% for 5 years. We didn't have to fix for 5 years, but we decided to fix for 5 years. Look, whether it's the right decision or not, who knows, but we've done that, and it's just a decision you kind of have to make at the time, isn't it? So 66 at the moment is what we are repaying each on the mortgage. Mortgage overpayments we haven't been doing in the last few months, however, it's something we want to do this month, so we're going to do £50 each, so overpaying the mortgage by £100 a month. The kitchen repayments, Ash actually redid the kitchen in April last year, just before Hallie was born, and we've just been paying an interest-free loan off. It was like a B&Q loan, and that is actually almost finished. We've only got like £300 or £400 left on it, so if we're still paying £160 a month each, there's only a couple months left on that, which I'm I'm just looking forward to be honest. So that's what that is. Food and groceries, £200 is what we budget each, so £400 in total, £100 a week on food. Let's face it, doesn't go very far at the moment, and I have to admit there have been a lot of times where in the last probably 2 months especially, I've noticed that it's just creeping up again, and we're going over pretty much every week, or every month in total. We'll go 1 week where we'll spend 80, but then the next week we spend 120, and it's like, it's just a lot. Like food is a lot at the moment. So the £400 is the ultimate goal. If we don't have that in the bank account at the end of the month for the last weekly food shop, like we didn't today, I've literally just done my click and collect from Tesco. I had to spend £50 from my own separate money, current account, to top it up because I didn't have enough money in the living expenses pot or joint account. I'm just being honest with you, that's how much we are budgeting. We do sometimes go over though. Moving on, water, £33. We actually had something come through on our water that we've been spending over the last year, 40% more, like we've been using 40% more water over the past year than we used to. Obviously we had a baby last year and I feel like that's probably relevant, but I am really worried that there might be a leak or something around that we're wasting water, so we're going to look into that because at the moment we're in debt on our water account, which I didn't know until recently, until that letter came through. So we are still paying £33 a month, but like I said, we're in debt a little bit. We're in like £100 worth of debt on our water bill, so that's fun. If I'm totally honest, Ash is looking into that, so I will update you when I know more. Gas and electric, £100 a month. At the moment we don't spend £100 a month, but what we do is put in £100 a month to the account so we don't get into debt when it comes to the winter months, and we've got the heating on a lot more, etc. So we've got lots of credit in that account, so when winter comes we can start using that credit to actually pay our bill, and then it doesn't go massively up in the winter, it just stays at a solid, annoyingly high level throughout the entire year. Home insurance is £10 each, life insurance is £14 each, internet is £15 each, and then our TV licence is £13.25 each, I believe. Our council tax bill is £83 each, and then going down to childcare, George's childcare is £160 a week. He gets the 30 hours free for 3 and 4 year olds. He's 4 years old now, so he's been getting that funding since January, and it is massively helped. His bill, for the same amount of hours that he was doing, oh no, he was actually doing slightly more hours because I was working, obviously, like doing a proper job that I had to commute to and stuff. His bill at one point was £1,200. The same amount as our mortgage right now, and it was crippling. It was crippling, and the fact that his bill is now £160, trust me, I get it. Like, it's not free. Like, there's a lot of, you know, there's a lot of things that they make childcare very difficult to understand. The government website and stuff isn't always the easiest, but with tax-free childcare and the 30 hours free, it's just so much more affordable for us, and he gets a really great like start to education at his age at nursery. Like, his counting and his writing is coming on so well, and like I wouldn't change what he does for the world now, if I'm honest. Anyway, £160 for George, and then Hallie's childcare this month is £155. She also gets some funding, but because of her age difference and stuff, she only gets 15 hours free. But obviously, again, the hours that she does 2 days. The way the kids' nursery works is that the childcare like funding model doesn't cover all hours. It only covers like specific slots within the day, and obviously, and you pay basically per day, you don't pay per slot. So Hallie, for example, is able to go to nursery from 8 in the morning till 6 in the evening, but that's what I've got to pay for with the help of the funding. But she doesn't go for those hours because I take George and Hallie at the same time. So I take them at 8:30 and then pick them up at 4, but I still have to pay for the whole day. Like I said, I've got a bit of funding towards it. It's not as much as obviously George is at the moment. So anyway, basically the childcare is practically the same price. So whatever. Like I said, it's significantly cheaper than when I didn't have the funding and George was in childcare like full time. So I cannot complain on that part at all. I've got to be honest though, the reason that we had the age gap that we had is definitely because of childcare costs. Like if they were closer in age, like I don't know how people do it. Anyway, Office 365 is £4 each, Spotify is £7 each, security systems, which is just like our CCTV and our door alarms and things like that, ring doorbell, all that jazz, £16.50 each. George's swimming is £28 each a month. It's like a direct debit that just comes out. So it's like £56 a month. It's expensive, but the lessons, I kid you not, are really, really good. There's like 3 of them in a class. They get such like dedicated attention. It's not like a massive class or anything. The pool is really small, and he can pretty much swim, like he can doggy paddle. Do you know what I mean? So you know, he's coming on really, really well. So yeah, definitely not going to change. It is an expense, but I really, really enjoy that he does it, and he loves it as well. I spoke about this last month, but we actually have committed to doing 2 abroad holidays next year with the kids, which obviously is literally financially a silly decision, but it's going to be amazing and it'll be worth it, I'm sure. But yeah, it is a lot coming out every month. That's coming out of the joint account, whereas a different one's coming out of my personal account, and people just transfer me money. Don't know why we set it up like that, but it just worked out. So Tenerife next year is £220 each. And that's obviously like for a big family holiday. Holidays just are expensive. Let me tell you, in 2026, we are not going abroad. Absolutely not. We are definitely going down to Cornwall. We're going to go up to the Lake District. Anyway, and then the last one is household subscribe and save, which is just things I get from Amazon on subscribe and save, like kitchen roll, toilet roll, bin bags, like I think kitchen spray, like things like that, things that you get like on subscribe and save that work out a lot cheaper. I buy them in bulk, and they come like probably every 3 or 4 months. But if I put £12.50 each into an account every month, then the money's there just to come out from the Amazon subscribe and save when it's ready to come. So that is everything that I'm popping into the joint account this month. So our expenses from the joint account this month are a lot. I am not going to lie to you. £1,827.25. That is the most amount of money that has ever gone into the joint account to be spent immediately on bills and debt and things like that. We've made some poor decisions, if I'm totally honest with you, but is what it is. You live and learn, and we won't be doing that again. Let's just face it. That comes off straight away. And then moving down to my personal expenses, these are bills that come out from my current account. So the money that I have in my personal account sort of thing, this comes out of there. So we've got car tax, £17 a month. That's a new expense because I used to pay it yearly, but now I pay it monthly just because it didn't really work out any more expensive, and obviously paying little by little is a little bit more palatable than just paying outright. And the only time I would pay outright for something is if it's like beneficial in the long term, like you get a discount for doing that, like on car insurance, for example. My fitness class is £36 a month. One I should add in as well is the gym, because I have actually started a gym membership. They were doing a deal, it's only £11 a month at the moment, and I thought that's a no-brainer. I get to go when the kids are both at nursery. I go there straight after dropping them off and have like an hour's just exercise, set myself up, and then like crack on with my day, and I just really, really enjoy it. If I'm totally honest, I love my fitness classes, but the timings are quite difficult for me to get to because they're like 6:30 weekdays and things like that, and the kids, you know what it's like at 6:30 in your house, like I'm sorry. It's just intense at the moment, and it's just not quite working out. So I might go on to like a rolling one with my fitness classes and pay ad hoc. So whenever I have the time to go, I can just pay for that rather than having to pay the monthly fee, because I am missing a lot at the moment. But yeah, at the moment, £11 a month for the gym is a really, really good deal. And then our other holiday in 2025, we're going to Crete for a family friend's wedding, and that's £111 each. And that comes out of my current account. Ash and my mum's also coming to that wedding, just transfer me their money and it comes out of my account. And that's just what we decided to do. So that's £175 also gone. And then we're moving down to things like investments, savings, like savings towards a specific purchase, and then also easy access money. There's basically like my spending money throughout the month, and this is where I do things slightly differently. So this is just my current account, like what comes out of there. Basically then whatever's left over in my current account from my income, I will then transfer into different accounts and spend it that way, because I find it really, really great to allocate for different reasons. So just to figure out how much I've actually got left over, I'll scroll down to the bottom of my spreadsheet here, and it actually tells me I've got £697.75 to play with to allocate into all of these different fields. What I'm gonna do is try and do the priorities first. Like for example, I'm gonna go down to my spending money first, because look, I need petrol. I don't need to put money into the birthday pot, for example. Like I need petrol. So I'm gonna start with that. I know it's a little bit out of order, but you'll see what I mean. With petrol at the moment, £200 a month is solid. Like that will get me through the month. So I'm definitely going to allocate that. The rest of these things are very much luxuries, I would say. So I'm going to do things in order of priority just to make sure that I am spending that £697 wisely. You can do it in whatever way you want, obviously. In my ideal world, I would put £100 into the emergency fund, but I don't think I'm going to have the spare capital this month. I'm just going to put £50 into the emergency fund. That emergency fund is just like my backup for like, if I don't make any money one month, I've still got money to pay the bills. Like I've got money for, or even if like I do make money, but then I don't know, the boiler breaks or a window smashes or my tire goes flat, like all of these things, like an emergency fund I find is very, very, very helpful and makes me feel really secure, that knowing that I've got a bit of backup in the bank just for something that goes wrong, because something always goes wrong. Car maintenance though specifically is for things like my MOT, my service. If a tyre does go flat, I had like a nail in my tyre a couple months ago that I had to get sorted. So you know, that's the car maintenance pot. That's specific for my car, because again, something always goes wrong with the car, doesn't it? £50 a month I'm trying to put into that. My car insurance pot of money that I have on Monzo is actually very healthy at the moment. And I looked at when I was going to renew my car insurance, I'm going to do that next month. Actually, that pot is very, very solid and I don't need to contribute towards it, which is great. I've been contributing towards that like £50 a month or £25 a month every month for the last year, and it's now a very solid amount, so I don't need to contribute towards that, thankfully. It gives me a little bit more cash towards Christmas. New car fund, I'm not actually looking for a new car. I have been putting £50 a month. I might change my mind on this depending on how much money we've got left over, because it's definitely not a priority. It's a very nice thing to be able to do, not a priority though. Christmas, like I said, I have been putting away money every month again, £100 every month, other than last month, and I think maybe one other month. But I am going to try and put £100 in, just because obviously Christmas is coming, guys, and it's expensive. My budget for Christmas this year, for everything, and I mean everything, food shop, activities, mainly the activities, that's the thing that I'm going to spend the most money on, is the activities and the events and like all of the stuff. Everything costs so much money. Like a day out at Christmas, £50 to £100 easy, and it's just insane. So I am trying to find like more friendly, affordable and kid-friendly, sort of chilled activities, because we don't need to spend that much money. But I have booked a couple of things already that are like a bit on the higher end, and I'm actually going to do my Christmas budget update, my Christmas budget specifically, in the next video. If you want to get organised for Christmas and have a Christmas budget spreadsheet, then that's coming to you very, very shortly, and I'll sell that over on Etsy as well, so if you want to go and have a look, it will probably be up on there already. The birthdays, I would like to be able to put in £50, but again, if I'm honest, this is dwindling very quickly and I need to be a bit more sensible, so I'm going to do £20 towards that. Japan, 20, 30, I know it shouldn't be a priority right now, but I really, really, really want to be able to take Ash and the kids to Japan for Ash's 40th. I know that's in years to come, but if I do save £50 a month towards it every month from now, then it'll be achievable, and gosh, what a gift would that be? Like, I really, really, really would love to do that. So as long as I can, I'm going to continue to do it. Download 2025 is a music festival that I'd really like to go to. I'm just saving a little bit of money towards that every month, so that again, when it comes to next year, it doesn't break the bank. So £20 for that. And then my family friends, Hindu, that we're all going on, we're going to go on like a Butlins weekender, and that's £45 a month each until the Hindu. Then moving down to all of these nice to have things, frankly, I've got £112 spare. So we're going to allocate this sensibly. I'm going to get my hair done in December, so I'm not getting my hair done in November, which is good. So that doesn't have to come up, great. Nails, not going to get those, because I'm going to get December nails instead. And also that's even a luxury, isn't it? It just makes me feel really nice. But at the moment, not the priority. Days out kind of isn't a luxury, because when you have young kids, you have to be going out, you have to be doing stuff. What you don't have to do is expensive things. And look, I haven't got a lot of spare cash this month, so I'm going to set my budget at £50 and I'm going to stick to it. Like, there's nothing, I can't go over on that budget. So it's going to be a lot of soft play, it's going to be a lot of parks, it's going to be a lot of forest walks. We can do this because we've got all of those things and they're all pretty much free. Obviously the soft play's not, but we can make it work. So yeah, we're doing that. Date night, look, we really want to go on date nights. We have not done that. We keep saying that we're going to do it. We haven't been doing it. I've been putting the money away, but then I've been dipping into it to spend on probably soft play with the kids, or going to do something with the kids instead. And look, obviously that's a great thing to do, but at the same time, like, we need to prioritise our marriage. So I am going to put even like 30 quid. We can just go to the pub. Like, that's literally all could be. Yeah. Like, clothes, thankfully for the kids, happy. My clothes don't need anything, lovely. Home stuff, there's probably things I could buy for house, but look, can't afford it this month, happy days. Eating out takeaway, normally put about £25 to £30 in a pot for a little cheeky takeaway. Look, I'm not going to prioritise that this month, so we're going to sacrifice that. Big old sacrifice from me. And then beauty, S&S and lashes. For me is beauty, subscribe and save on Amazon, and lashes that I get every month is like on subscription. And that for me every month, it already is like taken into account that it's £30 like for everything. And that's not things that I get actually delivered every single month. Sometimes it's like once every 3 months, sometimes like for things like eyebrow dye that I get from Amazon, or what else do I get, like a moisturiser and things, like every few months things get like on subscribe and save get delivered, but it's just like I take the money out and put it in a pot again so that it's there for when the money does come out. And then I'm just going to remove my household subscribe and save because I've actually already got that in the joint account. So I've popped it there now instead. And by the skin of my teeth, I have been able to, within budget, almost out of budget, but within budget, actually do this month. If I'm honest, I think I've overshot my commitments. I have 2 holidays next year. I've got this hen do. I'm trying to save for Japan in 6 years. I think I was in my head thinking that's fine because I, can pay myself X amount every month. Look, that's not always going to be the case, and I need to be really realistic with what I'm committing to spend, whether that's on my subscriptions, whether that's on my things that I get on finance or loans or holiday, all of that kind of stuff. I personally feel uncomfortable with the amount of things I've got on finance at the moment, and it just feels like it's for me, it overwhelms me to know that I've got all of these commitments that if I don't pay, that's bad. And I know that it's actually probably not that much debt for a lot of people, and it's because it's phrased in different ways, it doesn't seem like debt, but if I actually added up how much debt I've got for the kitchen, for both the holidays, for this hen do, for all of this other stuff, it's a lot. It is a lot, and I need to rein it back in, and I feel like 2025 is going to be that for me because I've already made these commitments, and I've got to stick with it, and I've got to figure out how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it, and it's going to be okay. But having looked at it on paper, I need to sort it out, is what I'm trying to say. I think it's very easy when you start to earn a little bit more money than you're used to just be like, right, spend, let's go. Yeah, I can afford that. And yeah, I can afford it, but only ever so, I'm very close to the wire. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, that's sort of where I am. My leftover cash at the moment is £2.75. So that's fantastic. I could dip into the Japan fund. I could dip into the download fund. Obviously there is money available for if the worst would happen. I've also got my emergency fund. So I'm not in a bad position, but I want to be in a better position. So that's all it is. So yeah, that's where we are. That's where we are. It's a very honest and very brutal one this month. And I think I've definitely realised some stuff. So I need to just chill a little bit with the spending commitments. But yeah, that's kind of why I like doing this budget update and this budget spreadsheet, because I think it helps me a lot. It reins me back in on thinking, oh yeah, whatever, I'll just do this, I'll just do that. No, you can't, Shan. You can't do everything. You can do a couple of things, you need to live your life and have fun and do things that make you feel good. And let's face it, spending money on activities and spending money on stuff that you like and want, then yeah, that's gonna make you feel great. But it's not making me feel great right now when I see it all written down like this. So yeah, it's just a little bit of a realisation for me, I think. And then just in terms of my Monzo, I thought I'd pop it up onto the screen now just so you can see it. I haven't actually done the money allocating part now. Obviously, like you saw, I've done everything that I did on my spreadsheet. But now what I'm gonna go through and do is add all the money into my little pot. So I've got my date night pot, my days out, my hair and beauty, my takeaways, home, all of that, my friend's hen do, everything. But a lot of these are going to remain at zero, which hasn't been the case for quite a while for me. I've always had money in these pots. Normally I have the certain amount of money in every pot, and I feel really comfortable every time I'm going out to do one of these activities or spend money that I know that I've got the money in the pot. This month I don't, so I need to really think about that. So the ones that you can see right now are pots of money. Well, they're not pots of money, there's nothing in any of them yet at the moment, but these are ones that I spend pretty much every single month. They always, by the end of the month, are at zero, pretty much. Whereas when you scroll down, you can see savings and investments. Savings and investments for me are longer term savings, and these are the ones that I earn interest on in Monzo, and you can see that I've got a fair amount in each pot, for different things. There are some things in here that I haven't maybe mentioned, my next house pot is a good, £1,500 at the moment, which is fantastic. It's not something that I'm actively contributing towards this month or, whatever, but if I make a really decent amount of money one month, then I will contribute towards that because it is something that we want to do in the foreseeable, but it's just one of those. You want to do so many things and there's not always the opportunity to just rush everything. So yeah, at the moment, that's not what we're doing. But yeah, everything else you can see there's a decent amount of money in different things and it's all ticking along quite nicely. The Christmas one, for example, I have been taking money out of that because I've been buying things already for Christmas. So you can see I've added money like most months. When I go into it, you can see like, oh, when I created it in June, I put the £500 that I already had aside for Christmas in there, and then I put £100 in July, £100 in August, £100 in September. Didn't put any in October, I don't think. But then I've been taking money out and popping it into my current account to spend when I'm in the shops or when I'm buying something or whatever. And I've been buying Christmas presents and stuff already, so that's why it's like gone down a little bit to, it's at the moment £574.22p. But the cool thing is that you earn interest on these pots. So for example, at the moment on my Christmas one, I get like £2.50 a month. £2.50 just free, just for having it in the account. And it just makes you feel like a little bit more committed to like saving the money in one place, because you are getting that little bit of interest, and I'm getting that on all of the different pots on one side, so I really rate it. I think it's really good. Anyway, that was my budget update for November 2024. Keep your eyes peeled for the next video, which is going to be my Christmas budget. I'm going to go through everything that I'm spending this Christmas, and that is for activities, the specific activities, how much they're costing, how many activities I'm doing with the kids and for us and all that kind of stuff, what presents I'm getting the kids, what presents I'm getting other people, the budget that I've got for that, the food shop, the top-up food shop, the alcohol, the cheese, all of that stuff. Christmas is expensive, and we're hosting this year. Like, we are a proper grown-up family now, and it does cost a lot, but oh my god, is it magical, and I'm so looking forward to it. But yeah, my Christmas budget update will be the next video, but for now, I'm gonna love you and leave you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys.
'Cause you glue all the pieces back together. Yeah, you take all my wrongs and make them better. Yeah, you're making me wanna try forever. And I feel so free, oh my sweet baby.